Mrs. Ambassador, you're leaving Cyprus 1 year after coming here. Why is that happening?
It's a very strange situation for me, I have to say. It happens. It does happen to diplomats. But while I was on vacation, I received a proposal from the presidential palace in Paris to go back to Paris to work with the president on issues that are very important. And I had to make a decision. It was not an easy one, but I decided to agree. I have very mixed feelings now. On the one hand, it's obviously an honor and a pride to be working for the president, a president that I think is respected all over the world and especially in Europe, where he has been playing a very important role since he has been elected. And but on the other hand, very mixed feelings because I'm sad, to be honest. I mean, it was not an easy decision to make. I am very sad that every day passing, I realize all the friends that I will not be seeing anymore, at least not on a regular basis. This is from the personal perspective, but also professionally. I think I had been doing things for this last 12 months. We had an excellent contact with the authorities, with a lot of people, and I had a lot of projects to develop. So leaving it all in the middle after such a short time is very difficult.
Mm-hmm. Which portfolio are you assuming at the presidential palace in Paris? I will be assuming the portfolio of Balkans and CIS countries, which includes obviously Russia and Ukraine, where I was posted before Cyprus, and Turkey. Mm-hmm. Okay, if we may come now to what is happening in the Eastern Mediterranean now, with the Turkish violations and everything, we've seen that your country, France, has been very active in this area and has sent frigates and aircrafts and everything. What do you think this situation, how do you think this situation will evolve? How do you see things happening?
Well, the first thing I want to say is because you mentioned frigates and yes, our military presence, I want to be clear on that. The reason why we are doing that is not at all to escalate. On the contrary, what the role that France wants to play in the region is to de-escalate the tensions. In our vision, in order to de-escalate the tensions, we need to show presence. We need to show that France and the EU is present, has a capacity in the region. One of the very important things, and this concerns also the military naval presence in Eastern Mediterranean and Central Mediterranean, is to make sure that the embargo on Libya, the UN embargo, is respected. And because this is for the safety and security of the region, this is very important. So the role that we're playing there is to make sure that stability will be not maintained, but will come back in the whole region. This is the view that France has, and we would like European Union to be more present and to play a bigger role of stability in the region.
So this is a common position you have with the Republic of Cyprus. What you're saying now, that the EU should be more present and have a more active role in the region, right?
Yes, this is indeed a common position, which is not opposed to others. I mean, this is a quite general EU position. The EU is very concerned of the developments. As you saw, our president received Mrs. Merkel, the German Chancellor, a few days ago, and they share this common vision of our common need to ensure stability. We do share it also with Cyprus, obviously. You know, President Anastasiades was in Paris at the end of July. He met with Emmanuel Macron It was a very positive meeting. I have to say I was there, and it was a very impressive meeting to see our president so close, to have such a common vision, and to share the same preoccupations on the developments and the same wish to appease the tensions. And this is what we will be continuing to work together.
Mm-hmm. So there is a discussion now about possible sanctions that the EU might impose on Turkey, and we will have the Council of Foreign Ministers soon, and next month the EU Council, the European Council meeting. What do you think about that? I mean, there have been sanctions on Belarus, but we haven't seen any sanctions on Turkey. Do you think that the same should apply for Turkey as well?
You know very well the French position. I think it has been clear over the past months. What we think is that there are some tools that have been decided by the EU, depending on the evolution of the situation, and we should be using those tools depending on the situation. Our vision on this issue is that the sanctions on any country has to be a tool, not an objective by itself. We are not aiming at putting sanctions. What we want is to use all the tools possible to have the tensions decrease and international law being respected. This is the main objective, and this is the vision that we are sharing with our
However,
partners.
we see that the Turkish leadership hasn't changed its stance so far, despite any calls or statements made by the EU.
No, but you've seen it's not totally true, and you've seen in the case of the tensions with Greece a few weeks ago that dialogue and a firm dialogue has actually proved its capacity to change a little bit the situation. So this is also the view that we have to show that we are firm, that we are here present on the spot, but ready to dialogue and again and again I'm repeating myself, but the objective of France with our partners is to decrease tensions and to get stability.
What about bilateral cooperation with Cyprus? We've seen that it's excellent. I mean, and what do you hope that? How do you hope that it will evolve in the future?
It is excellent, actually. It is even, I think, more excellent than people can think of. But to be honest, and again, we share exactly the same analysis with the Cypriot authorities. Actually, we discussed it with the president, with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, especially. Is that taken into account the excellent level of political relationship that we have, we could have a much more better relationship in terms of cooperation, economic, the francophonie, you name it. And this is why also I'm a bit sad, again, honored but sad to leave Cyprus so quickly, because I actually had a lot of projects. We had just a few weeks ago, when the president was in Paris, we came back together and we were discussing, the follow-up of this very positive meeting. I will have a successor that will, follow up on that. Obviously, no one is irreplaceable, but one of the initiatives that I wanted to take was to have a second or an annex of the French school in another place of Cyprus with the Cypriot authorities. I've had a lot of discussions with Prodromos Prodromou, the Minister of Culture and Education, and we share the same vision. He's very personally, and his institution, very supportive of the Franco-Cypriot school. So this is one of the things that I think we need to develop. It's not secondary. The knowledge of the French, the francophonie, is not secondary. It is really important. The economic sphere has been very active a few years ago, with very important investments, including in the 2 airports. But since then, it's not really, you know, it's quite weak actually. So this is another development, if you want, that I had in mind.
You mean the financial sector?
The economic sector. Yes. To have French companies invest in Cyprus. But for that, we need to have projects and projects of fundamental developments like renewable energies, in which the French companies have something to bring to Cyprus, for example, or big infrastructure projects in cities or even intercities. Those are the big projects that we would. I'm sure that French companies would be interested to participate in. Not only, you know, building hotels, but I was ready, and France will be, and my successor and the French embassy will be ready to support any development that will help us enhance our bilateral relation, that is excellent politically, but that we can beef up, if you want.
What about military defense cooperation? We have seen joint naval exercises with Cyprus, and also of France with Greece. Right?
Yeah, this is also a very important direction of our cooperation. Cyprus plays a very important role by its geographic, you know, place, by the fact that it is where it is, but also because as a place of stability. And for us, it's very important to be able to have access to Cyprus for our port calls of our frigates when they come in the rear. Now you have French frigates practically all the time in the area, actually, on a nearly continuous basis, and this cooperation is quite essential to us. But it's not only about frigates. I mean, defense cooperation is not only about having frigates come to Cyprus. It's also about training of officers, and those things that we are also doing constantly, and we are probably going to enhance again.
And you know that there has been a discussion about the facilities which Cyprus offers to France, and about a possible naval base that France might have here.
Yeah, this is not really. I mean, this is a sort of idea that is coming again and again. This is actually not what is being discussed per se, not exactly. We are having discussions on how we can enhance our cooperation, but we are not talking about a French naval base. This is not what is on the table.
Okay, but what is on the table? Can you be more specific on this?
It is being discussed. So and the reason why I'm not more specific is not, believe me, it's not because of secret schemes that you should. It's not what it is about. It's just that we are in the middle of this discussion on how exactly can we enhance, make sure that we can continue having a good access. It's not so much more than that. But on both sides, there is a common effort to enhance this cooperation. But one shouldn't think of a huge scheme between France and Cyprus, not because it is not important, it's just because we already have an excellent level. We already have an excellent level of cooperation, so we are talking about how to make it, you know, even more stable, bigger.
What do you think about, since we're here, about the Cyprus problem? We've seen that there has been a stalemate for a while, and given the Turkish actions in the Eastern Mediterranean, it seems that things are not, you know, easy right now for the negotiations to move on. We also have the electoral procedure in the north in the autumn. So what do you think may happen on this, or what do you expect?
This issue is, for me, professionally, but also in a way personally, a disappointment. Obviously, you know, every ambassador, even if we are not naive, but every ambassador coming to Cyprus somewhat has in a little part of his or her brain the wish that the Cyprus problem will be solved during his or her stay in Cyprus. I think you cannot avoid, and it's good because it means that we believe, and I believe in the possibility of a solution. Now, this year was obviously, I mean, the year that I spent in Cyprus was a very specific year with the coronavirus that made everything more difficult, everything, including this question. Including for simple reasons, which was that traveling became more difficult, including with New York, etc. So it was a very special year. Now, I do believe still, having been here only 1 year, but that a solution is possible with political will. If political will on both sides, it would be possible. It is not that difficult. You know, I heard so many people telling me, you know, it's so difficult. It is not that difficult. If you have the political will on both sides, you can get to a solution that would be profitable for all the communities of the island, for the island. So this is really what I believe in. Now, I'm concerned that it's not moving. I'm concerned that little by little the population is, you know, less seems to me to be less interested into a solution. It's a real concern because I don't think it's a good bet to think that with time it will be easier, or with time whatever. With time what, by the way, you know. But the bet that time will be in favor of us, whoever is us, is never a good solution, because things are actually getting more difficult. This is my view, and this is why I really hope that the leaders will restart working together to get to a solution. Another point of concern for me is that in the framework of this coronavirus, the crossing points have been closed, and de facto you don't have any links now between the two communities. I mean, you do have some, but people cannot cross anymore. This is really problematic. This is much more problematic than people think, and I really want to, you know, as now I'm living, I really want to call the people to understand that this is not a good situation. This is not a normal situation. I understand that there are the sanitary reasons, but you know, now you have people coming to the south, coming to the north from abroad. You have people coming from abroad, but how come that people can come from abroad, potentially with the virus, but you cannot cross a few meters in Ledra Street? But de facto, you cannot have anymore those human links between the people. And I'm not criticizing anyone. It's not a criticism. It's just a fear that this situation, if it doesn't stop at one point, when, I don't know, it's up to the authorities to discuss, to get together. The leaders, you know, will I'm sure discuss together and get to an agreement on how to deal with that. I'm not giving lessons. It is very difficult to handle. It is very difficult to handle this situation with the sanitary issues, the political issues. It's all mixed up. But I really wish that you know, in a few days or weeks, we'll hear good news about that, because the more the populations don't know each other, don't see each other, the more you have, you know, negative images, images of each other, because you just don't know each other.
Yes. Another issue that is that of Famagusta and its possible settlement. So what's your position on this?
The French position is very clear. It's not a French position, it's a UN position. So we are just supporting the UN positions that has been stated in the UN resolutions of the Security Council of the UN, which is that the properties should be returned to the inhabitants of Varosha. So, you know, we have nothing less, nothing more to add to the UN position that we are firmly respecting. And I just would like to add again. I said that in the beginning, but that you know, with the pride of leaving to work for the president and hopefully helping the region also. This is also what I have in mind, that by and I've been discussing it with your president and ministers, that in a way going back to Paris maybe will help me in a way help Cyprus and the region. But I just want to say a word of thank you to the Cypriots. You know, it has been very strange, because in this only 1 year with the lockdown, so it's actually just a few months. Now that I'm leaving, I realize how many friends I've made, what the level, the quality of contacts that I had with the political leaders and with the people, with friends. The quality of contacts is just incredible. I will miss it very much, and I want to thank Cypriots for welcoming me so well, allowing me to work, I hope, well. I'm sad that it's shortened, but this is a memory that I will keep all my life. A short year, but very intense. It has been extremely intense, and I will keep a lot of very positive memories for Cyprus, and Cyprus will always stay in my heart. Will always stay in my heart after this year.